Okay, so 16 minutes. So, I said it once and I say it again. If some other person, already was alive once and, they already know what's going to happen and, the person, they send their people after me and they already knew what to say, when to say it, how to say it before I was even born, so be it, right? So be it. They knew what to say, they knew what to do, and, that's not my responsibility. However, like what is my responsibility is to hold them accountable and to tell you that you're playing a game that's been rigged, that from the start, that these other people can travel in time and know what to say, and have you're working together. I don't have that, right? I'm going solo into this joint. I came in solo, I'm going out alone, and I don't have that kind of support system. And that's why I have the cane, right? It's like a literal and metaphorical that, I physically and psychologically, I'm overwhelmed, right? There's so many problems, so many people, there's so many issues that you have to deal with on a daily basis. There's so many issues you deal with on a daily basis that, you get overwhelmed easily, right? And, like an average person IQ, they they won't be able to deal with all of it. And whether I'm fighting with a computer, like the person's not even human and it's a machine, or something else, I don't know at this point, but I'm very convinced that I am fighting with NPCs. There's an AI or a machine, or the Matrix is after me. And I make these videos because you don't know anymore. You don't know who you're fighting. You don't know who's out there. These people seem to be spawning out of nowhere, like through portals in the sky, just like in the Miami Bayside Mall incident. Everybody knows about it. And so I make these videos because this is my last final message, and it's truthful. It's truthful that, you have to deal with, all these issues and these actors. Like, I'm just shocked that I even watched these terrible movies, and saw all these movies. I would have never stepped into a movie theater. I would have never watched it because I don't care about what their box office whatever is, right? These people, they waste our time, they waste our money, and they waste our energy, just like the system itself. And all you have to show for it is you walking like me walking right now, right? Like the system didn't work, and it destroyed your life. And these people, like, they'll sit there and they'll with their stupid actors and athletes. It's horrible. It's horrible that they would do this to us. And horrible did to my life, right? I'm out here fighting the system every single day, for destroying the life of me and my peers. And it's terrible they would do this to me. And whether it's because I'm too confused or too lost to to fight back, and or there's like some mind control game where like they're one step ahead of me. I wouldn't know, like, because at this point you don't even know if, like, I could be walking out here, but I can be in a forest. I could be in some other like entirely different dimension, because you don't know. I don't know these people. I've never seen these people in my life. These are strangers, right? Absolute strangers. And I keep my name protected and I keep my identity private because, excuse me, I keep my identity private and I keep my name private because you're already gonna find an enemy. People will fight you over anything, especially, again, like in the absence of true leadership. They'll be like, you looked at me, or you talked, or you said the word talk, and they're against it. They're just against that one word. They're gonna fight you over it. They're gonna fight you over the lamp. And I'm willing to fight over these things. I'm willing to get in there and fight, and I don't care. At this point, you've pissed me off. When you piss someone off to the way that I've been pissed off, I don't tolerate that. I don't tolerate that kind of thing. And I don't tolerate, I'm honest. I've been honest this whole time. I don't tolerate dishonesty and sly, slick behavior and liars and cheaters and all these things. I don't tolerate that bullshit. And because I'm a confrontational. Fight me face to face. Quit talking on your computer or your phone. Like, the thing is, like, back in the day when you manually had to go into like an AOL chat room and turn on your computer and all that. That's the way it used to be, right? It wasn't where, like, now we have, like, cell phones and computers. It's sadistic. Who these people are, Mark Zuckerberg, is purely sadistic and evil. Like, yes, these other people, like the actors in Hollywood and all of them, are evil, right? We know that they're evil. How they got away with what they did for so long, I don't know, right? Like, yeah, like, it's horrible. These are criminal, evil people that need to be stopped, like, stopped at all costs. And I don't know how we haven't stopped them. like I heard they raided Billie Eilish's house, and no, I don't know how they raided Billie Eilish's house, or no, like look, I put these terms in very like childish, like they call it Gerber terms, because it's I'm trying to break the problem down, right? Because a lot of issues, the root issue is a childish thing. Like a lot of concerns and problems were started over a childish reason, and I mean it's kind of common sense, but and again, like this late in the game in 2026, everyone's desperate. Everybody's desperate, asking what they could have done, you know what they could have done in the past so that the present wouldn't be as shitty as it is. And I wouldn't know the answer to that. I like emotionally it hurts me every single day, because I think like I said, was it my diet? Was it the fact that I even stepped outside of my house? Because my grandparents would judge everything I do, right? The moment a sock hit the floor, everything went south. Or the moment, like, again, I didn't want to say these things. I didn't want to ever tell other people, my private life, because it's my private life, right? Excuse me. Because these videos aren't for attention. These videos aren't for views. These videos aren't for money. This is me trying to give as much wisdom to other people as possible before I pass away. This isn't the type of wisdom where it's like, oh yeah, just make money and fuck bitches, make money and all that. And I mean, obviously, like, if it works for other people, it works for other people. But this message is pure. This message is pure intent. I don't view people as like commodities or soldiers, or like I said, test subjects, or slaves to work for me in a coal mine for Elon Musk and all his, and how we haven't stopped these evil people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and how we haven't stopped them. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. I mean, you're just abusing the good nature of good people to ignore, or to not want to compromise their morality, and not compromise their freedom for violence, right? Because nobody wanted violence to occur in the first place, or at least I hope you weren't born violent. I don't know, maybe you have like a genetic ancestry that dictates otherwise, but I never thought it would come to this. Like the thing is, like, okay, I'm gonna go back and no, but like I said, like I didn't like I never, I didn't know that things would come to this point where things would be the way they are. And I just don't understand these actors from like 1950. Like, how did they get away with making movies and becoming famous and doing all this bullshit? Like, if they fucked over their peers, that's one thing, and we can appreciate that, because like I get it, one less white person is a better world. Like, they're the ones who lit the candle and caused this, right? And I mean, like I said it before and I'll say it again, but like like the reason I don't get and intervene into other conflicts and other people and the violence and whatever is because nobody helped me when I was in my time of need. When I got robbed on that street corner that night, nobody helped me. There wasn't a single person that came in there and intervened. Nobody stopped their car. They kept driving. So because of that, I, again, like I said it once and I'll say it again, I don't care about other people, right? I don't care about their issues, and I'm not gonna back them up in their street conflicts, because they didn't help me in mine, and that's how you should view the world. Because like I became very selfish after my grandfather passed away, and I saw how people weren't crying, and I saw how they kept going. That's why I stopped. That's why I stopped caring, and I can't care because after what happened, nobody cared. So that's why I was very upset, and I'm still very upset. And the fact that people don't cry, and the month of April 21st, one of the worst days of my life in 2024, 2025, I didn't see them crying. I didn't see them, reacting. And and obviously people should be making YouTube videos. They should be discussing their mental health and um, what's going on, and like really reflecting, because after 2022 we know that the world had ended. We know the world could have ended with a single a single bomb, right? A single A bomb. So the kind of like mentality and seriousness that I would I would take from other people or tolerate. I'm very careful in the words I say and the words I choose, because I know that a certain group of people, they won't even tolerate. They will know that the word will even come out. They'll be like, you should have been aborted before he was even born. He shouldn't even existed. And that's a fair point to make. I'm not here to judge them. I get it. Like like these are very sensitive, very difficult, very controversial, very vulgar conversations that I don't like. I would have never had, right? Because I already know, right? Like, we don't trust anybody. We don't trust the teachers. We don't trust like priests. We don't trust, and I mean, cancel it all, right? I get it. Like people can be shitty, and we all know that, but cancel it. Cancel the old North American culture. Cancel America, what it used to be. You can cancel it. You can cancel like Bugs Bunny and SpongeBob and because if it's a self-deprecating, self-hating, cancerous culture that hates itself to that level, then it's logical, right? You wouldn't want to see any of these creations, was it World War Z, or was it Adventures of Zorro, all this goy slop and these movies and all these things. You wouldn't want to have them exist in the first place, right? The energy and the intention. I mean, what use was it to have these movies exist? Indiana Jones, or Indiana Jones, or all these other useless movies that are nothing but a waste of time and energy to create. They didn't help anybody, and given the situation in 2026, they've only worsened the situation. And you ask, like, what was going in these actors' minds to create such a stupid movie? Like, what was going on that in 1950 they were like, oh, I'll produce, I don't know, I'll produce this movie, like, I don't know, The Adventure of the Crystal Ball or something, or was it Gordy the fucking pig? Why would they even go through with making the movie? Why would they even go through with making The Adventures of Tintin, or Ratatouille, or why would they even go through with the movies? Like, if they knew that the world would come to this state, why would they even want to make the effort to produce such shit, terrible, like, goy slop? Why would they even do that? Like, why would they make the effort to produce Star Trek, Star Wars, Star Trek, all these 1960s, 1980s movies that are absolutely terrible? You look back in hindsight and you realize, like, they're terrible. It's the equivalent to making Birth of a Nation, like, and you multiply it. You multiply Birth of a Nation like 100 times, 1,000 times. I mean, the only thing that America is good for would be that. Then, the only thing that America is good for is that. And obviously people are going to be like, oh, well, what about freedom and all this stuff? And you already know that it's not true. Your freedom doesn't account to anything, or doesn't amount to anything. And you destroyed everything, right? You destroyed everything. The moment white people banded with white people and they destroyed the concept of any ethnicity, they destroyed it, right? Now, whether or not it's because of one action that that unironically, like, it's because of love that they would destroy themselves, like, I don't know, right? And again, I look behind myself, I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anything. I don't trust anybody. After the way I was treated and after what happened, I will never forget that. It is so terrible and so horrible that, like, and the thing is like, I can't even control my reactions or even like my brain, because it's like, it's tied to my parents making money and supporting me. So my actions will sometimes reflect my parents. But matter of fact, if I still don't have personhood, because my dad is still paying his mortgage off. My mom is still paying her mortgage off. She doesn't own the house that she lives in. She doesn't own it. She's still paying off the mortgage. But on top of that, she she's still paying off the mortgage, and uh, she's still paying off the mortgage, and she's still working. Um, but also, like, I wanted to mention, like, like, you know, um, they might want me to do something, right? My parents might want me to do something, and out of the mind control, out of instinctual mind control, I would end up doing it. But I make sure that I don't, because I know that it's the wrong thing to do, and and I don't have personhood. It's my parents, it's my parents. Like, I believe some people really are just side characters, and hell, they only exist for this one moment. Like, the moment a pipe breaks or pipe springs a leak, I, as a plumber, would come in and fix it quickly, and then I disappear. And if that's how my life would go, that's how it would go, right? Just this one moment, they need something done, it gets done, right? And that's what I would do, right? Like, again, I get my responsibility, I get my issues. The meat that I ate has its merit, and has its it has its effects. It takes a toll on the people around. It has its effects, and I feel terrible about it. Like, and of course society has changed, like tenfold since I even started making videos.